Hey, welcome back. I haven't seen you in forever. The next song on the album was another Paul song. Now, Lennon, I think up to this point, was the leader of the group. But if you look at it, I think when Sgt. Pepper comes out, McCartney becomes the leader of the group. Because you look at how many songs he has on here compared to Lennon. So, Fixing a Hole is... Now, a lot of people say it's just McCartney writing a song, but if you listen to the lyrics, also could be rumored that it's about drugs. I mean, about heroin, about, him, fixing a hole. And, it's controversial, but unless you're Paul McCartney or one of the Beatles themselves, you can't really be for sure what it's about. So the next song on the album is She's Living Home. Now, I believe George and Ringo don't even play on it, so this is different. This is like for the first time since yesterday that the Beatles are missing in it. It's just a Lennon and McCartney song, literally. It's a really good song. It's got a very great story arc to it about this girl who's kind of running away and starting, fresh. And it fits perfectly for the year, because 67, there's so many people leaving, going to Haight-Ashbury and stuff, just starting fresh and leaving home. And I think it just captures, the time period very well. And a lot of people think, oh, it doesn't capture the time period because, the style of it's very kind of, I don't know, orchestral and just, it's not really psychedelic, but I think it is. So the next track we're going to move on to is Benefit of Mr. Kite. Now, this is an interesting story. I'm sure if you like the Beatles at all, well, I mean, to a certain extent that you're watching this video, you know the story. Lennon goes to, I think, an auction or something. I'm not sure exactly what it was, like a thrift store or something, and he sees this poster of, the Benefit of Mr. Kite. It's an ad for a carnival, basically, or, sorry, not a carnival, carnival is the right word. I was... the right word. And just all the lyrics of that song are pretty much all on that poster. So, I mean, now, like I said yesterday, this is the point where Lennon, I feel like he's getting lazy. His song lyrics aren't, oh, I'm just going to think of something and write it. He sees something and kind of steals stuff. And we'll get on to that with Good Morning in a second. So, we go into Within Without You, which is arguably one of the best George songs of all time. And it's just, lyrically, I think it's my favorite George song. Instrumentally, I don't know. I like the sitar sound. I like the Eastern sound a lot, but I prefer the with While My Guitar Gently Weeps type sound. I'm not really going to talk much on that. I'm a big George fan, but it's not really much to talk about. It's pretty obvious what the song's about. So, we're going to move on to When I'm 64. Once again, a Paul song on this album. It's a song he wrote a while ago. Well, obviously it's a while ago now because we're in 2011, but a while before that, it's one of his first songs he wrote. And it's got, what John would call his granny music, which, I like the song. I think it's a classic. I think it'll never be forgotten. And I think it's perfect for, anyone turning 64. I think they should play that song. It's just a nice, fun song. That's what Paul's music is, in my opinion. Lennon is rock and Paul is pop. I don't like pop music, current pop music. I don't like the Backstreet Boys and shit like that. But, for that time period, it's just, I don't know. It's easy listening. So, Lovely Rita. Here we go again. Another Paul song. Rumored to be about, the girl that caused Paul's death in the Paul's death theory. It's just, once again, Paul, it's a fun song. Lovely Rita, Meter Maid. Just singing just about, random shit. Okay. Good Morning, Good Morning. I'm going to touch up on this a little. I don't like it. I like the song, but I don't like the fact that Lennon just kind of was like, click, click, click. I'm not sure if they had remote controls then. He might be, actually click, click, or might have someone to do it for him. And he sees a commercial for cornflakes going, good morning, and it's like, I turn that into a song. Okay, that works, I guess. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't show much creativity on his part. And, some of the big Lennon heads, like my friend Jason, are going to be like, oh, fuck you, Lennon's the best songwriter. And yeah, he's the best songwriter, but I think in this era, he was just too damn stoned to write anything with actual meaning. So then you get into the reprise of Sgt. Pepper, it's not really not much to talk about. It's just, Sgt. Pepper with a couple of the lyrics that are slightly different. And then, of course, the number one, definitely my top 3 favorite Beatles songs of all time, A Day in the Life. We're actually going to listen to that one, I think. Hope I don't break any copyright rules. It just opens with this great guitar by Lennon. It's acoustic. And it's just it's the end of the album, and it feels like the end of the album. And it's about, he reads the news today, oh boy, yeah. Now a lot of people say it's about Paul being dead, but It was about this girl who was an heiress to, I can't remember what, but I think it was beer, and she gets like killed in a car accident. And then I saw a film today, which is How I Won the War, which he starred in, which is a little talking about himself like usual, and like it just leads through. And then Paul had a part of a song that he wanted to do, but he didn't finish, so Lennon said, "Hey, just throw that in the middle of my song," and it just creates this like perfect unison between Lennon and McCartney. And like it's right in the midst of Beatlemania, well, towards the end of the actual Beatlemania, but I mean, right in the midst of like, I think their high point of their career, in my opinion, right before it starts to go downhill. So we're done with Pepper. We're gonna move on to Mystery Tour. Now, Magical Mystery Tour, the movie itself, I don't know. I'm kind of one way about it, and then sometimes some other way about it. Like it's the album itself is one of my favorite albums. Songs like Your Mother Should Know, Blue Jay Way, you know, just some classic stuff. But the movie itself, we're going to talk about that really quick. It was kind of crap. It was Paul's idea. Brian Epstein just died, and like, it's just, he tried to do something. He tried to recreate Pepper, in my opinion, and couldn't do it. And, you know, I mean, Fall on the Hill, probably one of the best Paul songs ever written. Walrus, probably one of the best Lennon songs ever written. But then you look at the movie itself, and it's just a bunch of random shit put together. It's the 60s, so it makes sense. You know, for that time era, that makes sense. And I think if BBC played it in color instead of black and white, it might have got a little better reception when it first was released. But it was that first time that the Beatles were mortal for the first time in a really long time. They weren't this perfect band. They were imperfect for a quick second, and I think it showed a little vulnerability in them. And I think that was one of the things that led to like their breakup, because it was Paul trying to take over the band, and they didn't like that. And then when Paul's idea failed, they just had doubt in Paul, and they're like, "Oh crap, why are we following this idiot?" And I don't know, it's not that good of a movie. I think if they hired, instead of directing it themselves, I think if they hired Dick Lester, who did Hard Day's Night and Help, it would have been a lot better of a movie. I think it was just crappy direction. Either way. So we're going to move on really quickly. I'm going to do this in reverse order, even though this came out after. We'll talk about Yellow Submarine. The movie itself, I love that movie. I mean, I love that movie when I was a kid. I didn't know how fucked up it was when I was a kid. Sorry for my language. I hope I don't get like kicked off YouTube for that. I didn't know how messed up it was when I was a kid, but it's kind of a disturbing movie if you really think about it. The album itself, a couple new tracks. Hey Bulldog, which is one of my favorites. I said it about so many songs, is one of my favorites. Well, you know what? All my Beatles songs are my favorites. But all my Beatles songs, like I own them. Either way, Northern Song's on there. It's a good song. You know, either way, Pepper, Sgt. Pepper, Yellow Submarine, kind of the same thing. So, the White Album, we're going to slightly move on to that. I mean, there's not much on that that's psychedelic. There's a couple songs. But I'm going to talk about that in the Get Back thing, I think, because I got about a minute left. So, I'd like to thank everyone who watched this. Remind you, war is over, if you want it. So, I want to say peace and love to everyone that watched this. I want to say have a great day. Enjoy your Wednesday, your hump day. And join me tomorrow when we'll talk about the last era of Beatles music, which is the Get Back era. White Album, Let It Be, and Abbey Road. So I will see you on the flip side. Peace.